He looks up at you.
I don't look back.
Why won't you look at me?
I can't.
Why won't you look at me?
Stop it. I'll kill them. I'll make it right.
The man dissolves into nothing. He is also only a memory now.
He sure is. But I'm not. And if I'm going to fix this, in any capacity I can, I need to come back.
You look around you. It's like changing room back here. The sort of still mosques, people you knew, people you've been. Kai is closest. Looks like he's sleeping standing up.
I go over to him. I take his hand and I look up at him.
He grips your hand back. A comforting grasp.
Just a bit longer. Tomorrow, with them. Just hold on a bit longer. I take his hand in both of mine, and I hold it to my chest.
There's a sort of soft sigh that comes from him. I understand.
Thank you. And I think I'm going to settle near him, still holding his hand. And as if this is not a dream, I'm going to rest my head against his forearm and try to fall asleep here so I can wake up where I belong.
You close your eyes in this dark, close room, the backstage of your mind, the inner workings, and you sleep properly this time. Tomorrow, you'll put on a face again. For now, you are just yourself, inside your own mind, as the eye looks on, outside, from in front of the curtain that you are now hiding behind.
Luca Carnson. I tested him. I may have gone too far. During our spar, I asked him to come at me as if I were taking N away from him. I took this action in response to a concern he expressed to me, one I agreed with. N has things in them they do not understand, and they would want someone to stop them if they were to become a puppet of an outside force. He took my suggestion more seriously than I anticipated. Nonetheless, he succeeded. He captured me without doing damage to N's body, eventually. I think he trusts me less now, but that doesn't matter. He will try to protect N. My presence seems to agitate him far beyond expectation. What is it about me that bothers him so much? Is it only that I replace N, or is it something deeper? Seeker also alluded to his many struggles, mentioned the fact that he was not always as animated as he is now. He's struggling with more than he lets on, that much is clear. But he will protect N. And he told me to find him if I could not sleep. We could play cards. Willow Jenkins seems uncomfortable about N's intentions to kill the Snapdragons. Not enough for them to revoke their assistance. Seems quite difficult to have them revoke their assistance. N has been trouble, has misunderstood a sensitive subject, has saddled Willow with knowledge regarding how Sviarlin has disappeared on them, has asked a lot. Their response? Fishdog returned to the Nodding Poppy last night. No answer regarding joining in on an expedition to the Moorholds. There may be no answer. It is a monumental request. But they gave N hope, so how can I not ask again, for N's sake? The Seeker's assessment is that if something is more trouble than it is worth, Willow would leave it. That seems accurate for N's observations. Then logic dictates N is worth it. Interesting. Under their suggestion, I spoke with the Seeker about my own feelings about N's. N will have to follow up on their offer to customize the wand. Seeker Elsa. I had a long conversation with her, tried to understand myself, Luca, Willow. She said I am not a bad thing. She said kindness is its own reward. That she is kind not because of an oath, not only because she has hurt people, for its own sake. I still do not understand why these people are kind to me, kind to N. I do not understand what we give them with our presence. I cannot comprehend we give them happiness. But you understand the sense of intangible reward, don't you, N? You understand that. The eye. It wants to understand everything. Itself, N. Its focus is not solely on power. And it can feel afraid. It fears that N leaving their allies will weaken us, make us vulnerable. I understand that. Its reaction makes sense. N has been burning in their dreams every night, has been struggling against their past, against their mistakes, called on me to hide so they wouldn't hurt anyone again. But N helped Seeker Elsa clean her dishes, and brought Seeker Elsa a gift, and spends time with Luca and investigated the monster from the barrow and spread the word about the danger and told Seeker Elsa, Luca, and Willow of the threat the snapdragons pose and didn't run away. And they won't run away now, either.
The camera fades in on Kai, asleep in his room. We drift outside the window, wind back the clock a little bit. Just after sunset, over the roof of the Nodding Poppy, we focus in on Willow Jenkins as they let Fishdog drift up out of their hands to perch on the roof. It was a rapid-fire repair, and now Willow is left with an evening free. Willow wanders through the village, down to the docks again. There's kind of still a twinge of unpleasantness about it. Bruno wasn't really mad at you for shoddy work. You've gotten yelled at him enough times to know that he was just being his hard-ass self. Doesn't stop the fact that you got sent home from stinging. The sympathetic looks and words of your coworkers make you feel worse, too. You wander around, salvage, listless, and your mind, unoccupied, is allowed to wander to unpleasant memories, such as the last time Bruno got really pissed off at you. It's the year 996, late summer. A privateer ship flying the colors of Dargoon and Breland has arrived in salvage. It's a goblinoid ship, a bit of a rare sight this far north and east. There's always money to be made in disrupting trade routes during war.
Willow doesn't make a habit of reminiscing on this, and they can't tell you what month it was specifically, but they do recall the day it appeared in the harbour. Definitely no fishing boat, and it was tall and long with numerous triangular murky green sails and a dark wooden body, the likes of which Willow hadn't seen in years. The Gathvanon announced itself with cannon fire in 3 bursts that had all of salvage on their toes. There's a sigh of relief when the village realizes it's just firing drills, and it docks like any other boat in need of repairs. Willow isn't surprised when its passengers alight, a small crew of around 20 goblins, hobgoblins, bugbears, armed to the teeth. mercenaries from Dargun. Their captain beelines to Bruno, and Willow overhears the conversation. Cheaper here than in Regalport, as if the crew doesn't have any money, as if they're not on their way to make more money. For someone so stingy, the captain talks as if he can pay Bruno to work overtime for free. He can't, of course. This is Bruno's domain. All the repairs are basic. The cannons are enchanted, but those are evidently in working order. So there is no need for an arcane tinkerer.
All that they really need to do to the Gathvanon is keelhole maintenance, basic stuff. But the crew themselves are little better than bullies with swords. They're loud, rude, more than a little pissed off that they've had to come to this backwater village with its second-run shipyard for repairs because their captain refuses to pay the fees for Regalport stocks. And there's a lot less to do around salvage for a bunch of bored, entitled mercenaries. They shoot their wands and crossbows at targets for sport, making noise. They take up the taverns and hassle staff and clients alike. Never enough to be real trouble, but enough to set everyone on edge. They talk in loud voices in the goblinoid tongue, Dakani, commenting how everyone in this village is soft, weak, without honor, without strength. They laugh loudly, drink deeply, and are generally a fucking nuisance.
Willow watches, and they try to be civil. Really, they try to be civil. By the time it's the crew's going to leave, everyone knows about it because they've made a playground of the town as a parting gift. Willow can hear the mercenaries raising a ruckus at the Golden Dragon Inn, all 20-odd mercs accounted for, out and about, having a blast. So, Willow makes their way to the dry docks in silence. Dock workers go home before nightfall. Bruno makes sure of that, no matter how demanding the customer might be. So, it's quiet. Upon closer inspection of the mercenary ship, the gun ports are closed, so there's nothing that the workers could reach and damage during repairs, even by accident. The boat's ready to swim. And upon even closer inspection, the boat has many enchantments, financed by Breland, Willow suspects, from the style of the etchings on the cannons and the weapons in the hull and the armor in the dorms. All enchantments for war and yet none for security. So, it doesn't take long when Willow locates the runes carved into the lip of one of the cannons. It needs to be polished anyway, and poorly maintained etchings always run the risk of being faulty. Such are the dangers of traveling on the high seas with magically infused weapons, you see. So, Willow taps the cannon at various points with their index and middle fingers as if checking a pulse, and the blue static skitters over the surface, then settles into the etchings. The string of runes glow neon before the magic disappears, imperceptible. The next morning, the crew of the Gathvanon take their leave. Willow is eating breakfast at the Nesting Quail. The firing drills start up again as they depart. Another 3 rounds of cannon fire. The people of Salvage steel themselves for the noise, even at this distance. Boom, boom. That final one didn't sound right, and there's a few seconds of expectant silence before the patrons of the Quail startle and look towards the rumble of an explosion. Other dock workers rush out, leaving their breakfast unfinished. Willow keeps eating. Were anyone watching, they might notice a smile. It's just a really good breakfast. By the time Willow arrives, the great, duskless ship is crawling back to the docks. Lifeboats have been sent out to scan the water for fallen crew members and property, but Willow knows that what's sunk is sunk, and the crew will be fine, just a little rattled, but nothing some big, strong mercenaries can't handle. There's a hole in the side of the ship where 2 cannons have jostled loose completely, sunk in the water, and a third hanging over the edge. The captain is speaking to Bruno again, more urgent this time. Suddenly, the captain has more money than he initially implied. They need to get the repairs done fast. They're going to miss the mission they were sent here for, all because of poor maintenance and cutting corners, it seems. Damn, what a pity.
The captain, a bugbear named Ghoul Agul, is talking with Bruno sternly. The crew is bedraggled, angry, startled. The master-at-arms, a hobgoblin woman named Arzaka, is arguing with the captain a little bit that she had checked the cannons before they had gone. Something has happened. The captain doesn't want to hear excuses. Bruno offers them a fair shake, though the cannons are unsalvageable. They don't really have the equipment here in salvage to dredge the bottom of the bay for heavy machinery like that. Bruno says something along the lines of, There's a Cannith workshop in Regalport, so if you need more armaments, you can probably find something there. For now, we can certainly get the lumber up to patch that gaping hole of yours. Well, it's a good thing none of your crew got injured. It could have been much worse. The captain concedes, and repairs begin again. Bruno asks you to join in on the repairs. See if you can do anything about some fireproof enchanting on the hull of the ship as they put in the new beams. The master-at-arms, Arzaka, watches you closely as you do the repairs.
You can watch. It's all run of the mill.
Some point later in the day when you're heading back, you're heading to lunch, she sort of corners you as you hop off. You were skulking around the cannons. I saw you. Sneering at us. She spits at your feet.
Willow looks mostly unimpressed. I have to skulk around the cannons to repair them. Obviously.
Before.
Before? When?
Before we set sail, I saw you. She sees at you and then starts swearing at you in Goblin. You understand every word, of course. But the noise draws the mercenary captain. There is an argument, and Bruno comes over, of course.
Just before those two arrive, Willow says something back in the language which says that's an interesting story, but in the goblinoid language, and that's it. Just before the bugbear and Bruno arrive.
Arzaka accuses you of sabotage in front of the captain, then the captain looks at you and looks at Bruno and says, Was this one on the last repairs? Bruno says no. He looks over at Willow and looks back at the captain. Sure, we'll have everything sorted out. Seems your crew are a bit antsy. As a ferry heading to Regalport, why not give them a night off work? We'll try and get the work done quicker. Work a few hours extra.
Willow
Bruno
looks at
glances
Bruno
at-
when he says that.
The captain concedes. He drags the master-at-arms back with him with a warning look. Tells her, don't waste your strength on people who are worse than children in terms of strength. The crew leaves for Regalport. They'll come back when the repairs are done. Bruno promises to send word. And in the meantime, they can go shop for more weaponry as they need. Bruno rounds on you. Didn't know you could speak Goblin.
Willow's arms are folded as they watch them go. They look like they have been frowning since Bruno said that they were going to do more quickly. Going to work extra hours. Willow's just watching them go, quiet.
Bruno eyes you up. You're not pulling stunts again, are you, Jenkins?
Again.
He gives you a flat look. I remember what you used to run with.
Willow's looking at the sky. Arms still folded.
It's mighty lucky that none of the crew were injured. It's mighty lucky that the captain came to us all contrite, instead of pointed fingers.
They could point fingers. What are they going to find?
You know? Sometimes mercenary crews like that, they don't need evidence.
Well, I guess we're just lucky then. It all went according to...
According to
Fate?
what? Willow. What did you do? Don't say you did nothing.
Sorry, am I supposed to act guilty? No one wanted them here. They have money to spare, why not?
'Cause they decided that we were more trouble than our money, they could have just razed us to the ground with those cannons.
But they didn't, and they couldn't. I made It was unlikely. It was highly unlikely.
He caught you out on that one. Bruno swears a blue streak at you. He is...
You're getting money out of it, aren't you?
The money doesn't matter to me. He seethes. They have found out. You are doing overtime.
For them. Now, they don't deserve it.
Not for them.
Business as usual, isn't it?
For me. Willow, who do you think vouches for you? Who do you think is responsible for you if they get caught?
I didn't get caught.
Not by them, luckily. I don't want to have to cut you loose because of some petty cock-up. We're lucky that we live in the shadow of Regalport. Means we get enough business without being front and center. Means that we benefit from the shadow of Ryger and his lot. But if anybody decides to take up arms with us, with salvage, with me, what do you think I can do? I'm a carpenter, Willow. What am I supposed to do in the face of armed forces? And what about everybody else? Your co-workers? All the people that work at the docks? Depend on their livelihoods for it.
I planned for it. Don't make it sound like I didn't plan for that. If they wanted to attack us, they would. They wouldn't wait for a reason. Pardon me for getting the upper hand for once. It's just one small thing, one small inconvenience. No one else would have been hurt.
Bruno shakes his head. Trust is earned, Willow Jenkins. You've put a massive dent in mine.
So am I
He
fired?
walks away. No.
Bruno, am I fired?
You're on fucking probation. He walks away, fuming, furious. You're not gonna hear the end of this for months. What really rankles you is the way he seems to imply that you weren't just lucky, could have had repercussions. What rankles you is accusing you of a petty grudge. So yeah, Bruno sending you home with a what the fuck and go get some rest is nothing really. You drift back to your present. You're in the middle of the village square, standing in front of the cleansing stone. What do you do?
Might as well tap it.
You touch the stone. There's that flare of cleansing magic. You're clean, but always gives you a little tingle. Like being suddenly scrubbed head to toe. The stone isn't that old either. You remember earlier, how many years ago? You don't know. Definitely before the ship. Gray and haggard and moving on instinct. You were drifting through when you heard the sound of an ornery old dwarf going, "Damn my eyes, Willow Jenkins. Is that you?"
Willow looks completely absent. It's almost like they haven't heard that name in a while. They sort of vaguely, in the back of their mind, tweak to the voice. But otherwise, when they look at Bruno, it's like they are, well, if you could see their eyes, they are, of course, wearing pretty thick goggles at the time. It's like they don't know where they are, let alone who they're looking at.
Bruno steps into your line of sight. He's a little bit grayer than the last time you saw him, or at least you think he is. It's kind of... You're not sure when the last time you saw him was. Gosh, years now, maybe? This is... This is before the war is over. This is after that day. Bruno sizes you up and down and says, "You look like you washed in with the tide." He frowns. Smelled like it too. Come on. Bruno sort of gestures for you to follow him, and when you do, he walks you through the docks, delegating tasks, and brings you over here to the new cleansing stone. Just got installed last month, he boasts, and gestures for you to tap it.
Willow's sort of paused on Bruno, like they have acknowledged who he is, but they haven't said anything yet. After, he'll probably need to insist again before they move.
Come on, just put your hand on it.
Willow rubs their brow and sort of just touches it. They don't really think of what they're doing.
There's a rush of magic cleaning, and you feel like a month of trazzling dust fall away from you. You hadn't even noticed how bad it had gotten. You were so out of it, but being clean, really clean, not just a quick scrub in whatever bathroom you find yourself in. Feels good.
It's a bit startling. Willow's sort of shocked back into their skin for a moment. That's handy. Is that new?
Bruno nods. I can tell you all about the new things we've got in store. Come on. I'm gonna drag you for a meal. They'll look like skin and bones. My treat.
Willow follows, doesn't say anything.
Bruno rattles off about what all has been happening in Salvage and around Greentarn in the last, year and then some. Since the news came that the unthinkable has happened. On the mainland. That night, you end up sleeping in a dorm bed. It's a place to stay. Next morning, Bruno brings a really scuffed up looking Everbright lantern in front of you. It is like in disgusting order. The runes have been scuffed to shit.
That's messy.
What'd you make of it?
Broken.
Is it repairable?
Maybe.
days sort of blur together one by one. Every now and then, you'll get hassled into a meal, hassled into taking a look at something. Slowly, the days start to make sense again. One day, Bruno brings something to you that you just can't not fix up.
If he brings
What
back
is
that
it?
lantern.
Yeah.
If he brings back that lantern, Willow might have another look at it.
I think maybe you find the lantern lying
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. I think Willow will spot it and then be like, yeah, it can be fixed, and then repair it and then return it to Bruno at the end of a workday or at the start of a workday.
He's astonished that you managed to not only find and remember it, but put it back in working order. There's a little, huh. Good as new. There's like
Who
a
ruined
little...
it?
Kids have been throwing rocks at it.
How annoying. Yeah. Willow drops it back. They look mildly disgusted at like how bad it was. Someone just
Oh,
dropped it in the bin.
yeah. It's supposed to be scrap.
Hmm.
But you
Well,
know me,
good as new.
yeah.
Pardon?
You can make good money from this.
It's yours. You can have it.
Would you mind taking a look at another few things?
Willow was about to leave and they kind of wheel on their heel.
Bruno stands up from his desk, leaving his ledgers behind. Got a couple of fishing boats that had some basic enchantments done. Think you could take a look at them?
Sure. Were they also thrown rocks at by kids? Wait, that didn't make sense. Did rocks also get thrown at... With... Okay.
Come along.
It's early.
Bruno starts giving you work around salvage as a little arcane tinkerer. And every time you fix something up that nobody else could do anything with, you get that little stern smile of approval from Bruno.
Willow tries not to, like, grin about it, but I mean, after a while, it's not bad. I feel like it'll take, like, a month, maybe a few months. I don't know. What is time? But it
Yeah.
would be a little tail wag swish just after one particularly nice compliment.
You get a clap on the back and a good work, pup. One day. Feels
Bring me a
good.
challenge next time, Bruno.
We cut back to the present day. It's nighttime. Dark. Dead of night. You're lingering outside the little whitewashed, thatch-roofed fisherman's hut that is where Bruno calls home. It's across the river mouth from the dry docks.
Willow walks right up to the front door like they're going to knock, and then they pause because it is so late. And they know that this is a dumb idea, so they back away from the door immediately and go just stand nearby. They don't know where to go.
A breeze ripples over the bay, and you look around at salvage. This place would chug along without you just fine, but what would you be without it? You head home to the Jenkins workshop, exhausted. You just want to sleep. Stop thinking for a minute. Just stop thinking at all. Scene ends there. And we cut to the nodding poppy. Seeker Elsa comes over to Luca after breakfast and says, I think Kai is still sleeping.
It's not like him.
I think we should let him rest.
Yeah, I agree.
Could you watch the front of house for a bit? I have a
Oh.
little errand I want to run down by the docks.
Of course.
She
Anything I
gives...
can do for you?
Oh, it's alright, it's alright. I didn't see Willow last night, ma'am. Thought I'd bring them a little bit of bread on the way,
Oh, okay.
since we made that fresh loaf yesterday.
Of course. Give them my regards.
I will. She smiles and gives you a little hug on the way out.
And I reciprocate, as always.
Yes. And you are left alone for a bit. Zeke also promises to come back soon. Do you do anything, Luca, while you're home alone, basically?
Not today, no. I'm winding down mentally, so nothing important.
You walk past Kai's N's room now and then, and
Just listen to make sure he's breathing
yeah,
or there
there's
and hasn't snuck out at the middle of the night.
you crack the door open slightly and just see Kai fully passed out, sleeping like a child. You know, that sort of full body sprawl that kids get when they're like dead to the world asleep.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad he seems to have slept well.
Still sleeping. We follow Seeker Elsa down to the docks as she does her errands for the day, checking up on people, making her rounds. And eventually she comes to the Jenkins workshop around mid-morning. There's a knock and a ring. And Willow, you startle awake. Even if you were, like, if you've been up, you've just been sort of, like, half dozing at your desk.
Willow, like, ugh. Does the face pap of
Yeah.
visitors. I didn't even think Willow's going to bother, like, who is it? They're just going to make themselves vaguely presentable. And they also have the slow pace of, if they leave, they leave. See if they knock again.
There's another knock at the door, and you hear Seeker Elsa's voice. Willow, are you there?
Oh, that changes things. Willow gives a like if they were vaguely like, I'll let them go. It's like Elsa, okay. Just a second. Oh, their house is a mess. They like chuck a blanket over like just a pile of shit, and then they arrive at the door, and they're so confused. It doesn't sound like Luke or Kai was there. So anyway, they open the door. Good morning.
Good morning. Seeker Elsa greets you brightly. She is alone, holding a basket of what you can smell is bread?
Willow like obviously looks past her and then back at her.
Oh, it's just me today. Kai's sleeping in.
Oh, good. Okay.
I brought you some bread. We made some last night for dinner, and I thought you might come along, but... Well, here it is. She offers you the little basket hamper.
Oh, thank you.
May I come in?
Willow's like, actually, how would you like to have we could sit on the actual ship on the boat outside? Maybe?
Sure. That sounds fine
Yeah.
with me.
Okay. Willow's gonna chuck on like their saucepan that they use for water, I'm guessing to boil some sort of tea.
Uh-huh.
Water for tea. Yeah, and then just like chuck that on full fire. I'll be out in a second, and then Willow's just like clank, 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 clank in their kitchen, just trying to find clean teacups, appropriate tea, a saucer, biscuits maybe, and just try and like make some sort of tray of stuff to take outside for Elsa while she makes herself comfortable at. I imagine Willow has a little table outside.
Yeah.
Probably also has stuff on it that Willow hasn't thought to take off yet, but there's a table, there's chairs, so yeah, and it overlooks the ocean, so the view's good. Anyway, Willow kind of starts. Willow like emerges from their house, weirdly stiff-shouldered, carrying a tray of tea, teapot, and biscuits.
Oh, thank you so much. Come sit.
Okay.
Elsa has clearly like just put the pile aside on the ground so that you can place the tray on the table. She has not commented on the mess, mercifully.
Thank you, God. Okay. Yeah, Willow is so embarrassed. Anyway, Willow, we'll sit across from her. Oh, I assume you don't mind tea?
Oh, yes, thank you so much.
Okay, Willow's going to pour some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make a little bit of small talk as you set the tea up. Elsa comments about how it's supposed to start raining again this week as spring rolls around and the flowers are going to start popping up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Very sort of gentle patter that is soothing to listen to. I actually wanted to ask you about a few things.
Any of the calm that settled over Willow kind of like tenses in their chest, but they try not to show it.
I spoke with Kai the other night about... Well, he seemed to... I think... Oh, how do I say this? I believe N is under the impression that they upset you in some way, got into an argument with you, and I would like to hear your side of the story, if that's all right.
Willow's taking the longest sip of tea.
He also waits patiently.
Just keeps going.
Also waits patiently.
Willow puts it down, raises it again, drinks a little more. Oh, interrogation
teacup is
hours.
empty.
Elsa. Yeah. Okay. There's really nothing to discuss. I think all is sorted.
They seemed very...
Burdened.
Yes. That's
Yeah.
one way of putting it.
When I say all is sorted, what I mean is I think all that can be said has been said, and at least from my side of the story, there's nothing really more to say. So it's sorted in that regard.
Would you mind telling me what happened anyway? I'd like to understand what was going on.
Willow pours another cup of tea for themselves. Well, basically what ended up... Well, so earlier in the... around Luca's birthday, actually. Okay, sorry, let me start from the beginning, 1 second. I wanted to determine what N's powers are, because N is very confused about their powers. Sorry,
Elsa
pardon?
nods. Elsa nods.
Oh, okay. And so I established that I had the means to at least investigate their powers, and maybe we could trace it back to an origin or something of the sort. So I offered that N could use their powers towards me, and I would analyze the findings. And
He nods.
that's what we did. Willow takes a sip of tea.
I see. And then at some point, I believe they said that they had tried to help you and you told them not to?
Oh, yeah. Well, N was under the impression that I required the experimenting for my sake, and I didn't want them to think that, because that would be incorrect. And so I told them. And they... Well, that was just before they disappeared, so...
Seems like it was a little more intense than a misunderstanding.
Curt words were exchanged, yes, and I have a feeling I might have hit a nerve, but...
And did N hit one of your nerves?
No. It was just wrong, so...
I'm gonna need you to make a persuasion check on that one.
What?
I guess I have to contest that roll myself.
Okay. It's okay. It's fine, this is normal. This is why I don't talk to Secret Elsa.
Seek also takes a long sip of tea herself.
That's so fucking good!
The fucking diplomatic chess happening here.
Oh my
laughing
God.
so much. Oh man.
Okay, moment of... Okay, just... Yep. I hate my life.
Well, I'm glad that the two of you have managed to come to an understanding, but I think it might be helpful in future that well, how to put this delicately? I don't think N is used to having friends, and I think they have some fears about being alone and abandoned by people that they care for. So, while I'm sure there was no lingering hard feelings, sometimes short words can sting a lot more if you weren't expecting them.
Oh, I'm well aware of how N got upset by it. And I've tried to be helpful with Kai, so...
She nods. I understand. I appreciate you sticking it out with them, even if they're awkward a little bit and unsure of how to behave around friends and equals.
Willow scoffs when Elsa says awkward, because it's like, Willow gives that face of like, who am I to judge? Look at this conversation. It's alright. It's just... it's as expected. It's not like I'm... It's not like I'm expecting anything different. Oh, I wasn't expecting that, but that's... You can't foresee things like that. Basically, I have made myself known. Keep talking to Kai. I directed them back to you, so I'm hopeful that N will come back around when they feel safe. So, thank you, by the way.
Yeah. Of course.
For oh no, I mean for. I've been sending a lot of people your way. Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, the crew.
I see.
Varys, Mr. Captain. Varys,
Hmm.
Uncle Varys.
Oh,
So,
I'm glad that you have faith in my abilities.
proof's in the pudding, or in the bread.
Speaking of, I really enjoyed our conversation the other day about herbs and such when Kai and Luca were out.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to talk to, well, someone who shares an interest in that sort of thing. Feel free to stop by for dinner any time.
Thank you. I'd say you as well, but
Oh, it's all right. I understand how it can be living alone and trying to start a business. She sort of eyes the exterior of the Jenkins workshop.
Suppose you do.
I'm a lot more familiar with the wandering lifestyle than you might expect me to be.
We have recently discovered a barrow protected by your magic. I think I am expecting about the right amount.
Of course. You're a little more insightful than dear Luca, who sees me as, well, to put it bluntly, a grandmother to him.
Yeah, well, that's good as well.
Well, there's nothing wrong with being a grandmother.
No, it's good. Grandmother's, yeah, it's good.
I just hope that you know that even us old fogies can give a little bit more advice.
Hmm.
And that it won't cost you anything to ask.
Can I make an insight check? Just about
Sure.
all this.
Yeah. Feel free. Seek Elsa's being a little bit cheeky with you here.
Yeah. Yeah.
She has noticed the way you behave and the way you show up or don't at the Nodding Poppy. And she knows very well that you have never been in her clinic before until Luca brought you over for dinner. Which is maybe a bit odd, considering your line of work. Even if Bruno is a stickler for safety and preventing stupid mistakes that could get people hurt, there's still an injury or two every now and then that's beyond control. So, yeah, Elsa's being a little bit cheeky with you and basically has cornered you into either openly accepting or declining her invitation to come visit more often. If you're not too busy, that is.
Thank you for your offer, Seek Elsa.
Anytime. I suppose I should get back. I left Luca alone.
Unattended. I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
It's
What are they
fine.
up to anyway this morning?
Well, we're making ready to hopefully go visit the Barrow tomorrow and sort that mess out.
Is
I'll
Luca
be
okay? Sorry.
Oh, he's doing better.
He was in a bit of a way yesterday, so...
Yes, I think something hit a nerve.
Seems to be a lot of those going around these days.
No? We are but people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I won't keep you, so...
Yes. I'm sure you have much work to do today. Thank you for the tea and for keeping me company. She waves
Absolutely.
goodbye and heads back home.
Willow deflates like a pasta. Cooked pasta, not uncooked pasta. Just like
Snaps in half.
Yeah. It's like school visit vibe, you know, like just home visit by the local grandma. Meh. But she brought bread and the bread's nice, so Willow's gonna go inside and just take like a massive mouthful of that bread.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're embarrassed. That was embarrassed. They feel embarrassed.
Mm-hmm.
They feel low key like when N comes back, I'm gonna kill them. In a mildly fond way, just in the I can't believe you guys both talked to Elsa about me, you know? Fits to be interrogated by a grandma, my one weakness. God.
Speaking of the other two, Kai, you wake up feeling like you don't know what year it is.
Oh yeah. Guy is sprawled, his hair is a mess. He just wakes up, his limbs akimbo, and he sits up sharply, like eyes wide, and like arranges himself. He's very confused about this sensation. And he just takes a moment to look around the room. and scan his
It is,
surroundings and figure out
like,
what's going on.
it's like noon.
Oh, bad.
Okay,
The
so
door is like slightly ajar.
Just
cool.
ever so slightly.
Okay, well,
You
yes, Kai is going to run fingers through his hair to get that mess sorted and grab his stuff.
you like wipe your mouth and there's
Yep.
like a little bit of drool at the corner. You
Yep.
know that way that like
Mm-hmm.
you've slept with your mouth open, maybe?
Disgusting. I'm going to go to the bathroom and clean up.
Yeah.
They're just very, like, you can hear his footsteps as they, like, firmly walk out of their room and to the bathroom and wash up and then come down to the dining room as if nothing's
Yeah,
wrong.
it is. Yep. Elsa's like, "Oh, good morning." Well, I suppose she glances out. Suppose it's closer to afternoon.
I'm aware.
We were about to start making lunch.
I'll help. And kind of stiffly goes to, like, take out plates. And he stops and he puts them back. We're not at the step yet.
I'm gonna get Kai a glass of water because I think he needs one to wake up.
Thank you.
You muddle along,
Yep.
making lunch, and
He seems very confused.
yeah. Zika also says, "I saw you were sleeping in, so I didn't want to disturb you.
Yes.
Do you feel well rested?"
Guy's kind of just wide-eyed. Like, he's staring very intensely at whatever he's doing. With this one eye just kind of like, just a bit more open than it usually is. Yes.
That's good to hear. You have lunch. It's relatively light, but it is pleasant. You certainly have the appetite for it.
Yes. Very hungry, and the food tastes good.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what happens next is up to you guys.
Yes, well, Kai's probably just going to go outside and into the garden. Just kind of take it in.
Lie in the dirt.
No, he's done enough laying around for a lifetime. He's going to just, like, wander around, get his bearings, breathe in the brisk afternoon air.
Yeah, it's starting to cloud over. Looks like it might rain this evening.
And we need to do this now. Where's Luca?
Probably just puttering around the kitchen.
Kai will return from the garden to the kitchen area. Luca?
I'm gonna hand him a pear.
Kai fumbles it into his hands, looks at it, looks at Luca.
It will perk you up if you eat it.
I believe I am plenty perky, but thank you.
Why don't you humor me and eat it anyway?
Without taking eye contact away from Luca, Kai is going to take a bite out of the pear.
Chomp.
See? Trust building.
Is that what this is?
No, I just like pears. I eat one too.
Speaking of trust, I would like you and Willow to join me down at the lighthouse before it gets dark.
What for?
And would like to try and come back again.
Okay, okay. Let's do that.
Kite nods. I suppose we should check on Willow.
I'll grab a pear for Willow.
I guess with pears in tow, we're gonna head down to the Jenkins workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Willow, what are you up to as these two wander down to the docks?
I feel like Elsa left Willow in a bit of like a huh kind of mood, so they are probably working on their mast.
Okay.
Are they like up in the
Hmm.
sky?
I imagine they
Make
are actually kind
a
of high up, but
make a carpenter's tools check. Hey.
hey.
You're
Oop.
going good today,
Excellent.
aren't you?
Yeah, you work is coming along swimmingly, actually.
Weird.
You have a good strong beam and everything set up. You have it in place and are sort of, after a week of having the beam just sort of lying around, you're finally getting around to putting it in place and rigging it up properly with the rest of your ship.
I do imagine Willow
So,
somewhere high up with like a rope
yeah.
harness. Like not too high,
Yeah.
obviously. It's not going to be that tall, but like
Yeah,
they
you're
are-
like standing on the roof of your boat,
Yeah.
basically.
yeah.
And like taking trigonometry measurements of like how long exactly it needs to be, how much sailcloth you'll need,
Yeah.
Wow, what a
doing
nerd.
well, doing
Okay,
all
Payboy.
the measuring work that needs to be done before you start sewing into anything.
Mhm.
Have your
Is Willow
blueprints at your
the
side.
kind of
Mhm.
measure twice, cut once person? Or do they measure once, cut, and then hope for the best?
They they do their work precisely. They don't like
So
backtrack.
measure twice, cut once.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also because
Nerd.
I think they got Luca to do some measurements last time, so they're probably rechecking.
Yeah.
Oh, Luke, I don't even think they would have bothered. Luca's not that. Luca's not math smart. Don't get him to
Just
measure
giving him
things.
stuff to do. Hey, how many corners does this piece of cloth have, Luca? 4? Good job.
3. It's a triangle.
Willow's folded. Anyway, don't worry about it.
So, Kai and Luca arrive, and Willow, you can spot them from a distance.
Can we spot
Yeah.
Willow?
I imagine Willow spots you first, but yes.
Does Willow engage with us?
Willow spots you and is like, so many house visits today. And like jumps down from the roof.
You like swing down from your rope harness in like a little acrobatic swoosh down and land on your feet solidly on the deck and are looking expectantly at Kai and Luca as they arrive.
Is this a bad
Willow,
time?
What was Luke saying?
I have something to show you.
Good. Okay. Willow's not sure how to answer either of you because you both talked at the same time. What?
Is this a bad time?
Oh. No. Well, it depends what you're coming to say.
Open your hand.
Yes, it's a bad time. What is this?
Just trust me.
Willow's going to perception.
Why is it
Insight, what do I do?
whenever Luca offers his hand, we're just perceiving him?
Yeah,
He
perception
just
check?
wants friends, guys.
No, you don't make friends by handing people things without... Is it a perception check?
Yeah,
Oops.
perception versus, I guess, Luca's sleight of hand. To hide a pair.
Is that off? Turn that off.
Luca is very badly hiding a pear behind his back.
Willow Willow holds their hand out now. They know it's a pear. Just still confused at him.
He just places the pear in your hand. I brought you a treat.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I look at Kai.
Kai looks back.
Kai is holding
Okay.
both of our cores.
I'm sure you got rid of them along the way.
Kai would have found a place. He's not carrying 2 cores all the way to Willow's. That's just gross. Kai is tired of feeling gross today.
Thank you. Is this to go with the bread?
Bread. Oh, no. This is separate from the bread.
Hmm.
How was the bread?
Mm.
I made it.
Disgusting. Just revolting. I'm kidding. It was nice. It was nice. Thank you. Very nicely needed.
Fluffy?
What's chewy? It's in a good way. It's anyway, that's besides the point. Is something how last time Willow saw you two, you were like not good. So Willow's like looking at the 2 of you like, all good? What's
Luca
happening?
looks smaller.
Smaller?
Yeah.
Actually, can I insight check Luca?
Sure.
Both of you. I'm gonna insight check both of you.
Good
Ugh.
job. You used it all up on Seeker Elsa.
Yeah, and I failed anyway, so whatever.
Both seem hard to read a little bit.
Great.
Luca
Cool.
seems
Willow's not bothered.
tired. Luca
Yeah,
seems
Willow's
tired.
also freaking tired.
They're all
so it's
kind of
like,
tired.
Whatever. Yeah, you know what? Whatevs.
Kai?
Yes. If now is not a bad time, I would ask you to accompany me to the lighthouse again.
Oh, why?
And would like to
Picturesque
try
views.
to come back again.
Oh, okay. Willow's been a little bit of a grumpy chuckle fox since you guys arrived, so this changes their expression. Oh,
If now is a bad time, I can take Luca.
no, I'm just holding a pear, so yeah, I'll come. 1 second. Willow's going to
Will
go
your
inside.
pole be okay without you?
I'm sure it'll manage that. Well, it had that.
No.
I'm sure it'll manage anyway.
Willow trips on their stair.
Shut up.
The stair up to their boat.
All right. The 3 of you head over to the lighthouse, to that quiet
Wait.
stretch of beach. Hmm?
I look at Kai. Should use the cleansing stone first.
Guy stares at you.
I stare back.
Without breaking eye contact with you, he goes over to the stone and places his hand
You
on
walked. You walked past it twice now.
Yes.
Well, if
But-
we're already that far
Okay.
gone,
Kai is musty, so
Guy just wants to feel clean, okay? He feels off.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
you know what? Let's all do
you,
it. And I play patty cake with the stone.
You all take turns slapping the stone as you walk past it on your way towards the beach. Can we continue?
Yes.
Uh-oh. We are having some technical difficulties.
Oh,
Hold on.
stream.
Yeah, no wonder Mim didn't say anything.
The stream is fine. 1 minute!
Hey,
Willow fell over. Hello.
you heard because it just went completely quiet on my side.
Willow
Can you
fell
sit
over.
Where's-
closer? Can you sit closer to the microphone and talk again, please?
No, I'm back where I was before, but it's just
Okay,
my
you're fine.
internet dropped out for like
Okay.
20 seconds.
It was
Yeah, we just
Yeah.
slapped the cleaning cleansing stone. I keep getting that mixed up.
yes.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
I missed like a
because-
whole
Yeah.
walk.
Kai is
Oh.
musty.
Luca brought it up as we
Ew.
were passing the stone for the third time today, apparently, and Kai touched it because Kai's
What?
feeling weird and just trying anything to not feel weird.
Oh.
So
Cool.
you all
Oh, Fish
took
Dog's with
turns
us, too.
slapping the stone. Yeah. I
Yeah.
assumed Fish Dog followed Kai and Luca
Yeah.
as you headed out. So, you are now once again on that abandoned stretch of beach, a little ways away from the lighthouse.
Yeah. Kai's
May I
gonna...
ask Kai a question on the way?
Yeah.
Yes?
I think Willow would have just asked, why the change of heart?
I spoke with the Seeker.
Hmm.
And can explain it better than I can.
Okay. Willow shrugs and keeps walking in silence then.
Actually, wouldn't mind pulling Willow aside for a second
Oh. When?
while we're walking,
Oh. Okay.
letting Kai
Guys-
overtake us.
When we're at the beach, Kai's gonna go over to the water, like the edge of where the tide is lapping, so you can probably talk to Willow in that moment, because Kai's gonna have separated himself from you two for a
Okay.
minute to stare out at the water, so...
Okay.
So while we're watching Kai, just wanna lean in slightly to Willow. And I just wanted to apologize for how things went yesterday.
What, me falling on my face?
That was embarrassing.
It was embarrassing, thank you.
I thought you were better than that. Well, I was expecting you to be better than that.
That's your first mistake.
Just with how things ended, I touched a nerve I didn't know I had, and I don't think I was ready to have that nerve touched. So I'm not sure what it was, but I reacted the way I did. I don't know why. Sorry, this is a bit awkward.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Are you okay?
I said it better in my head.
No, it's. Are you okay? Like, do you feel okay?
Shrugs.
Doesn't have to be yes. Just rather than. I hope you feel okay.
And I'm sorry if I made you uncomfortable. So I hope you
it's fine.
feel less of whatever yesterday was.
Thanks.
Give them a tight lip smile and nudge them slightly.
But you don't have to apologize. I still think that you are a non-threat to me.
Well, that's good.
Willow folds their arms.
We turn our attention back to Kai.
Yeah, he's going to turn back to you two at this point. Could I ask you to come over here with me?
Okay.
Yeah.
If this becomes concerning to you, neither Anne nor I will blame you if you would prefer to flee or throw us in the water.
Oh, not again, and
I can't guarantee
becoming
that
a
would
habit.
work, but
I forgot about it. Wait, you're ruining the mood, Luca. Sorry, Kai. What were you
Sorry.
saying?
at least this time it would be voluntary. And at that, Kai is going to extend both of his hands to either of you.
Are you asking us
Huh?
to hold hands?
If you would allow it. And would benefit from knowing where they are, who they're with.
Oh my god, they're actually asking us to hold it. I'm not saying this out loud. I'm just like surprised.
It's internally combusting.
Yeah.
Lucas exuding like wide eyes emoji. Just like, oh my god, I'm gonna hold hands with N or Kai or whatever's happening here. Oh my god.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting it.
If you
No.
don't want to, you don't have to.
No.
I think before Kai can even get those words out, Luca is like grabbing his hand.
Yes. Carefully though. I am a man who knows my own strength, so I take Kai's hand in both of mine.
Both. Oh,
Yeah.
Luca.
Kai looks at Willow.
Willow seems to. The look on their faces seems to imply they think this is kind of cute, actually. If not a little sappy. But nonetheless, they unfold their arms and they shrug. And they
Does Fish Dog
Hold-
participate in this handhold?
they
Kai
hold
only has
one
2
of
hands.
Kai's hands.
Fish dog lands on Kai's head.
You can stay there. If it gets blown up, so be it. It's romantic.
No. I think Fish Dog is going to be circling. So Kai is
Yeah.
Willow is holding
It
one.
like
of Kai's
lands
hands.
on Kai's head like
Yep.
briefly in like a little honk, and then
Yep.
like gentle circle overhead.
Yeah. Oh, and Willow's other hand's in their pocket.
Just casually holding
Yeah.
hands
Just a casual little cool guy beach hand hold. That's for cool folks.
in like
Yep.
shin deep water.
That's the one.
We'll have to visit the cleaning stone after again.
That's
Especially if
what
we're
it's there
gonna
for.
dunk N.
Again, if this is too much, you're welcome to
Kai.
flee.
Kai, we would be running already. We're
Mm.
holding your hand. Zzz. I don't think it gets much
Wait.
clearer, yes?
I'm gonna offer Willow my hand. I'm gonna take one off Kai and offer Willow my hand. And like,
Is it...
you know, the finger gesture of give it to me.
Yes, I guess. And this is this is Luca's prosthetic, yeah?
Yeah. Actually,
Willow. I imagined him on the right for some reason.
so did I. That's really
Wow.
interesting.
Symbiosis. But yeah, yeah, Willow's going to roll their eyes and yes, okay, fine, take Luca's hand.
And I'm gonna swing their hand slightly. Like, yeah.
Oh, Kai. Can you hurry?
Should I change back to save you this embarrassment?
And you know, if we get to stay like this, maybe just a little longer.
Luca.
And
I
you
can break
almost
this arm.
see a smirk on Kai's stoic face. And then he takes a deep breath, closes his eyes, and his hair begins to turn white and extend, and his height shrinks a little bit. And N, as you know them, returns.
There's a brief gust of wind or power or something, like a breath that's been held too long suddenly rushing out.
And then almost immediately starts shaking, and he grips your hands and wobbles on their legs.
Hey.
And you see the scales, the cracks, starting to flicker as their eyes wide dart around.
Hey, Ann. Hey.
And looks up
Just
at Luca.
squeeze their hand a little bit.
Willow's
Encouraging.
gonna let go of Luca's hand too and like quickly support under just N's elbow, like they're going to fall over. Like just prepared to catch them if they tip.
And
And I'll like swap hands and put one kind of around them, like the hover hand that men do, just in case. Hey, welcome back.
And
Yeah. Well, I'm here.
you're here.
It's me.
You're here. And it's you.
and kind of topples against Luca,
Oh.
like into his body.
Oh. Hey. Okay. Gently pat their hair. Still holding their hand though.
And Willow's like holding their other one, just like watching them like they're a vase tipping over a little bit. Like they will catch, and if they fall over the other way, at least they are supported from all angles at the moment.
You're real.
We are. They're right here.
And releases your hand, Luca, and puts an arm around you.
Oh. I'll hold them back as much as they are doing to me.
After a moment, and raises their head and looks at Willow. I guess I finally found out what pisses off Willow Jenkins.
Oh, you'll have to tell me about it later.
Willow's
I'm gonna give
holding
Willow
both
the
of
come
N's
here
hands, like
hand
the
again.
sandwich.
Give it to me.
Willow's sandwiching both of N's hands for now. And they just laugh. Weakly, but nonetheless. Welcome back.
Thanks. And then will eventually pry themselves off of Luca. Sorry.
No, don't be. That's what I'm here for.
Maybe so. And kind of steps back a little bit, just still a little wobbly on their feet, but more steady now than they were before.
Be careful. We don't want to have to drag you out of the water again.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to. And glances back at the lapping tide.
The three of you sort of carefully hobble out of the water and onto the sand, onto solid land.
Willow's like walking backwards and guiding you with like holding your hand and your forearm.
Mm-hmm. And just
Steady pace.
lets Luca do whatever he's doing in that arrangement.
I feel like he's holding. Is he like behind the shoulders? Or
Yeah.
around the shoulders?
No.
Yeah.
I was
No?
imagining something like porcelain hand holding one hand, the other arm kind of around their back, almost like dancing posture.
Yeah, that's what I meant by around the
Oh,
near the shoulders.
okay.
Same,
Well, I
same.
That's cute.
Lower
Though.
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Gently supporting and like so that if they won't trip over and yeah, so Willow is leading you out of the water. Luca has your back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the most and has let you hold them ever.
We know.
And they're just letting you guide them.
Is their hair up or down?
It's up.
Okay, just checking.
Probably
Just
just
get you out of the water.
yeah. Just rest either leaned up against rocks or something.
Yeah.
For a bit.
Find somewhere.
Imagine that like as N is holding your hand, it's like a firm grip.
Yeah.
It's a please don't let go of me grip.
Yeah. No, that's
Yeah.
why we're both holding on with both hands.
Yeah. Full-bodied handhold.
Yeah. Yeah, Willow's gonna sit you down on like a slab of rock if you would sit down.
Yeah.
Luca will sit right next to you in case you need to pass out. I guess.
And, and Willow's probably gonna kneel in front and bring out like a watering. What's the word again?
Watering
Ultra
skin.
skin.
Yeah, skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, bring out one of those for when you're ready. But they're just like,
Oh, and I have a pear
This.
in my pocket
Another
if you're
one.
hungry, just in case.
One for me and one for Kai.
Mhm.
Ever so thoughtful.
That's me.
And now that ends a bit back in themselves, they give Luca like a bit of a tense smile at the mention of Kai, where they look to Willow and accept the water skin with a thanks.
I get the feeling we have to talk. I don't say that. I'm just
The look in your eye.
yes. That is the look of we have to talk.
I also imagine that Willow only let go of the hand to hand you this water skin. Otherwise they were
Mm.
still holding it that whole time until replacing it with the something useful,
Yeah.
functional, edible. You know what I mean.
How are you feeling?
Better. Little mixed up, but fine. Thanks for putting up with me.
It is my pleasure to have you lean on me, literally and figuratively.
Yeah. You're built for it. And,
I am.
And
I'm
knocks
big and
your porcelain
soft.
arm.
Oh, that's not soft, but the rest of me is very soft.
Yes. And looks at Willow. A little more cautious this time with their glance.
Kai must be relieved.
Yes. I really put him through it too.
Is he asleep? Is that how it works?
We're the same person, Luca.
Right.
You get it eventually. It's okay.
However, that mindset
Oh, you said so.
is
You sounded just like Kai.
we're the same
However-
person. Luca.
It's the same vocal chords, Luca. The same. Don't worry, I'll explain it to you later.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
That fragment is resting. That mindset has been put aside, and now I'm here. So.
Well,
Oh, this one's my favorite.
Willow pats En on the knee as they stand up and says, "Well, thank you, Kai, for your service." And stands up and puts their hands back in their pockets.
Yeah, well, I'll let you go back to work then, I'm sure.
Willow gives you a look like, squints. But obviously you can't see the squints, but you got a full face expression of squint.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been away most of the week. You must be really busy.
I got sent home, there's a difference.
Oh,
You got sent home?
Willow Jenkins got sent home?
No, actually, I've decided I changed my mind. I've been working all week really hard. Anyway, you must be hungry.
Why don't we go have lunch? At the Poppy, in case you're tired. And
Or
I'm
at
sure
the
Secret
Quail, in case-
Elsa will be happy to see you.
Can I insight check Willow's
Yes,
there?
Luca knows that Seeker also visited Willow.
That's
She
true.
mentioned that she had a nice chat with Willow over tea.
Oh, Okay,
And
yep.
Kai was asleep.
Yeah.
All the more reason for Willow to come to the poppy. Right?
It's fine. Whatever you two want to do. Just don't worry about me.
I guess the main question, cutting N off while you do that, how it appears to me anyway, I'm just at a glance, you're here?
I am.
Yeah. Well, you are. Yes, sorry. Not to sow any doubt. It's just seems that all's well, yes?
Yeah? And kind of looks at their hands, like, questioning it now.
Well, you
Luca's
look
still
like
holding your hand.
What? Just the one, then.
You certainly look like Anne, sound like Anne, and you're speaking fine.
You're not on fire, so that's a plus.
Well, it gives Luca a look like, don't bring it up. Um, yeah, indeed, and you are all together still here. So
Yeah. Yeah, I just need to settle into it, and I'll be fine.
Mhm.
I'm fine.
you're here.
My name is N and I am fine.
Yeah, I can feel
Aw.
it. The fineness of it all.
Maybe you don't get that reference. Shut up.
No, I don't. You shut up, hair boy.
Yeah, Luca is a delicious pear. We know.
Ugh.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Willow's just gonna sit on the sand. We might as well sit around for a bit. Get your
Yeah.
bearings.
Watch the ocean.
Yeah.
Sit in our soggy boots.
Sorry about that.
Don't be.
Oop. Our bot has fallen asleep.
Give
It's
us
the
a
sound
moment
of
of
waves in the
quiet.
distance.
Yeah. It's a strange sounding wave. Willow, what
Also, I
is
feel
your
like
opinion
Willow's
as a pirate?
Willow is facing you two, by the way. I think they're facing their back to the ocean.
Hmm.
They have a funny feeling and might benefit from seeing their face.
Yeah, maybe so.
Take some quiet time to sit around, just listen to the sea. It's starting to get a little bit cold as the weather is starting to
Yeah.
turn.
You know what? I bet.
Can Anne sneeze?
I bet.
Carry on.
I bet Luca would probably still is holding N's hand or shoulder or something because N hasn't taken it away. Feels N like shiver.
Oh.
Hmm. You know, my toes are starting to go numb. Maybe we should head back.
You cold?
Mm-hmm.
To Anne.
Luca answers. It's
Do you?
it's a bit brisk, yeah.
Willow's gesturing to the jacket. Do you need?
No, I'm okay, Willow.
You're wearing feathers again.
One thing I never told you about the eye is that since I started catching fire, my body temperature has been higher than normal.
Oh, well, that solves
Thus,
that.
glad you
Then,
told me.
thus, and wiggles their shoulders.
well, good then. Cold never gets in the way of fashion. Willow's going to stand up now and dust off all
Which
the sand.
is another thing that you will now notice that you are actually able to touch, and the feathers are illusory.
Huh.
I think like Luca didn't notice, but Willow's noticed that his hand is not like behaving correctly. Or is it only once you touch it?
You notice it when you touch it, like basically
Okay.
that they're an illusion.
Right.
So it is for
Did Luca
fashion.
notice? Okay.
He's like putting his hand through them.
Yes,
Oh, illusion armor. Is it?
it
Yep.
is enchanted.
Yep. It's glamored armor. So
why did you
it can
borrow-
basically appear to be anything else, but it
Yeah,
still
okay,
will
Willow's-
feel like armor.
Right, yeah, Willow's like, why did you borrow my clothes then?
I like how it feels to be in different clothes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Luke is just swiping his hand.
His big eyes.
Willow's going to probably, may I?
Yeah, and shifts their
Yeah,
shoulder over.
Willow's also fluffing their hand through the feathers like, wow, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. They even sway in the breeze, but they don't react to touch.
Hmm.
Wow.
So all this time we both had special armor. Wow.
Oh.
Luca, you also have special armor. We tomb raided it, yes?
Yeah.
And you have an arm.
Armor.
It's a little bit of both.
If you need me to carry you, just let me know.
Okay, big guy. I think I'm good. But thank you for the offer. I can understand where it came from.
Kind of notice that he like perks up when you call him big guy, because he hasn't been called that in a while.
Yeah. That was En's first nickname for him.
Yeah.
So Willow finds that very endearing, though says nothing.
Let's get you home. I want soup with my bread. I made bread. I made a very delicious loaf of bread.
Yeah, you've only got like a quarter of the loaf left.
Enough for all of us to have a slice.
Yes.
One singular slice of bread.
One very juicy slice.
Yeah.
You coming, Willow? And so
I think
does
Willow
Luca
has to.
and start like making their way up off the
Sorry,
beach.
I didn't hear what either of you said.
And asked if you're coming, and I said, I think you have to. It's like a celebration lunch, right? Celebration soup.
I have nowhere else to be, so.
I'm gonna do the give it here gesture again, and at Willow, like, hold my hand. Or hold hand.
Willow's gonna hand you a pear. And walk ahead.
I didn't need it. Can I throw
Nope.
it at Willow?
And
Can
on
you?
that, and on
Can you?
that,
Yes,
and
I can.
on Luca winding up to throw the pear back at Willow, we will go to break.
Oh my god.
Okay, so where do we want to pick up again?
Soup.
Soup, I guess.
I'm at soup!
God. So we go back to the nodding poppy and make soup.
If you guys want
Yeah.
to.
En's just gonna follow you guys at this point. En's still a little
Luca thinks it would be best to be at the poppy because it's like, if and needs to
Familiar.
rest, they can,
yeah.
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 as opposed to going out to the quail or something like that.
Yeah.
Willow wants to get something though. Not show
Maybe.
up.
We could stop
Get
by.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Willow's probably gonna want to stop by, but then they would only hesitate if N was like, if they don't want to be out of N's like eyesight. What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah. Eye
Line
line,
of sight.
line of sight.
Yeah, line of sight. That's the one.
Got
So
there
they would, like-
eventually.
Yeah, they would like be sort of like, we should get.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did have lunch, so maybe we should be preparing dinner. Like that's.
Yeah. We would be
Yeah.
doing dinner
Afternoon
now.
snack.
Or that, yes.
Yeah, okay, there we go.
That's
That too.
afternoon tea.
We can
You're
eat it.
getting
We can eat anytime.
yeah.
Yeah.
Food's food.
Yeah. So okay, yeah, I think we would
Luca making dinner at like 4 p.m.
Oh god.
and hasn't eaten today. And just like
Yeah. Kai and I share a stomach, you weirdo.
And hasn't eaten in a week.
Luca's got in a panic mode.
So he was like, he understood earlier that Kai eating was the same as N eating. I think now that he's more emotional, it's kind of slipped his mind.
That's sure.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
You're just like, I haven't seen you in a week. I must feed you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
You must be so hungry. I'm hungry.
And who ate a
so
pear
Willow's gonna
like
stop by the
half an hour ago.
bakery. Willow's gonna stop by the bakery and probably get something for dessert.
I was
Yes.
gonna say that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A little bit of some slices of cake, some cheesecake.
What if it's pie? Can it be pie?
It can be pie if you want some apple pie.
Say the special of the day is pie. Willow's not trying to be smart ass about it, but they walk out of the bakery and say, "I got pie."
Why
Cool.
is that smart assy?
Pie.
It
We had very
rhymes.
tense pie with Kai.
All right.
Oh.
It's okay. Willow's not going to remind you, so if you guys don't get it, don't worry about it.
Don't worry, all of my conversations with Kai have been tense, so it's like I've eaten a lot of tense meals with Kai.
Luca says, frankly, like he won something.
Yeah, I won every conversation we had.
6 solid days of just mafia dinners with Kai.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And Sika also desperately trying to save the mood.
I'm so sorry, Sika. This is why
you do
Willow
so
thanked
much.
her specifically. Like, hey, you've been dealing with a lot.
And his name is Luca.
Okay, so we head back. Pie, into Kai, not into.
Yeah. It's N. N's just
Fish
gonna...
dog is excitable.
Aw.
Are they with like booping around N?
Yes,
I think they're booping around all three of you.
yes.
Because I have
Riding on the
not let
good
go of
vibes.
N.
Are you still holding hands?
I am still basically carrying N the same way as I did out of the water, just in case.
And has probably tried to distance himself a little since we're in public now, but I feel like Luca's not
okay.
going to let that
I'm a
stand.
doctor. Yeah.
Not exactly the
Willow's
point, but
Willow's gonna give you that pitying look. And they notice that Luca has literally been standing outside the bakery with you, just like holding you.
now Anne just looks awkward about it.
Yeah.
Does Zen blush?
Probably. Probably when like
Yeah.
Doesn't even notice.
probably when N like tries to like subtly just shift away from Luca and Luca just doesn't give. So N just stays there.
Luca probably interprets that as them falling, so he's like
Oh, God.
even more solid.
Luca's
Okay,
like,
I think-
N's like, I'll just disengage. Gets like
Nope.
Watch out there, you almost fell out of my arms. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think Willow is going to give you a bit of like throw a bone and be like, maybe N should try walking on their hind legs.
They're not a puppy.
Okay, I'm giving a look to Luca. He's not getting it, is he?
No, he's staring back with like eyes that are trying to discern what you mean.
I'm okay, Luca. I can probably walk on my own, thank you.
You sure? I can
Yeah.
still hold your hand if that helps.
If I feel lightheaded, then I will. You'll be the first I grab onto.
Okay. Okay. I'll let them go, but I'm gonna stay close. It's like in arm's reach.
Yeah. Luca relinquishes the hand.
And dislodges themselves from the Luca.
He's excited that N's back. Doesn't want to let go in case they leave again.
So,
Aw.
sorry,
Hey.
Luca. Ouch. Yeah, but Willow just kind of like people like walking past you guys were looking and looks like they were like withering away.
Yeah,
so-
let's just sink into Luca more.
yeah.
So you can't be
Find yourself
perceived.
under my cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we head back with Pie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. And N.
And N.
And N.
N.
So, I think we can safely flash forward to a point where you've settled in and are able to have a frank conversation. Seeker Elsa is obviously very pleased to see N returned and gives you a welcome back hug, of like brief one.
Yeah. And we'll reciprocate. Give her hand a little squeeze
Oh.
too.
Ah, bah.
And is smiling, full teeth.
Oh, whoop!
Ah! Little pointy teeth, baby!
Oh.
We should
So
have,
cute.
like, what is it? What's the opposite of brunch? Linner.
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 Afternoon
like-
tea is what it's called.
That one. We'll have it in, like, the sitting room where it's more comfortable rather than eating at the table. So
Yeah.
if N wants to fall asleep on the couch with a bowl of soup in their hand, they are welcome.
Seeker also is like, but we just ate lunch, and reminds Luca that like N and Kai are the same person again.
Luca does not
Or
understand.
more subtly is like, N, are you that hungry?
And there with a full bowl of soup.
Before I was thinking
Before
before
the
Luca
soup.
started making, before Luca could get underway.
Well, like, we can have it for dinner. We'll warm
I'm
it up later.
okay. And
Seeker
I
also just
ate
gives
lunch.
Luca a gentle look of like, please calm down.
Okay.
The granny look of like, hold your horses, please.
It's okay. You won't make something huge. They can have like toast.
Yeah,
A little bit of
toast and
toast
tea
for
is
dinner.
fine.
yeah.
Yeah, and you can make dinner when it's dinner time.
Yeah.
We could also
honey.
have pie, pre-dinner
Yeah.
pie. Yeah, we could
okay.
just
Just
we'll just
afternoon
eat the
tea.
pie. We'll eat the pie with tea.
Dessert is
There you
good
go.
for
Okay.
any time.
There we go.
Yeah,
Fresh
It's fine.
pie. To say goodbye to Kai, we'll have some pie.
He can hear you.
I didn't say that out loud. Says Luca.
Out loud. Oh man.
Yes. Absolutely.
I nod.
Willow is
Elsa is
avoiding eye
very
contact
glad
with
to
Elsa.
see you all in high spirits.
Yes.
Do you want to have your conversations alone, or are you continuing out here?
What do you?
Because I imagine N wants to talk through some things.
Yeah.
So, like,
I raise
after
Eva.
sort of the things have calmed down a little bit.
You
Yeah.
guys have a
Willow
preference?
isn't like talking very much, so it's really up to you guys.
Yeah.
Willow's just kind of here, floating around.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's here. Might as well
Yeah.
just start where we are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with pie plates set aside, emptied
Yeah, you've
of pie.
eaten, you've
Yeah. And quieted down at that point. And they at least seem a little more present. They were kind of floaty on the way back, like mentally. They still seemed a bit like drifting, attention drifting,
yeah.
but they're a little more back in their head now. They look at the two of you. What are the two of you doing? Are you just sitting there after pie, or
I can imagine like card tricks happening sort of idly. Like there was a deck of cards on like a side table or something, and like either Willow or Luca is just like shuffling them as like sort of the conversation is winding down.
I don't imagine Willow's doing a lot of talking, so it's or doing anything really. They're just probably idly doing nothing. Maybe Fish Dog. Maybe just checking on Fish Dog.
Yeah.
just rotating fish dog in their hands.
Luca's pulling cards out from behind his ear.
I actually just imagined him
Right.
shuffling the deck to keep his hands busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think things are feeling a bit,
Yes.
like in the middle of conversations
Yeah.
that aren't being started or anything.
Yeah. What time of day is it? I think Seeker Elsa is like closing up the front of house. Probably.
I
Yeah.
also imagine she was holding the conversation up with like pleasantries.
Yeah.
So now that she's out the
Yeah.
room, it's just like, hey, it's us. Yay!
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After everything, it's still you.
Ah.
I haven't played that
Mhm.
game. That means nothing to me.
It's a sentiment regardless.
Anyway, yeah. It means something to you from N
There you go.
or to N. Yeah.
Anyway, since neither of you are going to start a new conversation and supposes this will be taken onto them, it is them, after all. So, and says, like, tapping their hands on the table in that, like, nervous, occupy your hands kind of way. Kai. And reads the room to see what their response is to that name.
Willow's looking at Luca.
Luca just looks at you, like, finishes the shuffle and, like, holds the deck in his hands, looking at you, kind of waiting, because
Can I-
that name could mean different things.
Can I insight check Luca? Should I insight check Luca?
No, he's like,
No.
he's literally just waiting to see where the conversation will go before he lets himself feel anything.
Cool. Okay.
Wow, healthy.
Sure.
It's just
Sounds
sort of
normal.
a head cocked of like listening.
Yeah,
Mm,
pretty
yes.
much.
He,
No reaction yet.
Yeah.
Yet.
I said a lot of things. And I wouldn't hold it against you if, you took issue with some of the things he said. I said.
I look at Willow like, is this to you or me?
Willow nods their head at him. Luca. It's Luca. Willow's nodding their head back to you.
Okay. Are you referring to anything in particular?
The spar.
Right. Yes. Sorry. What?
And looks at Willow, like not sure if they should continue talking about this.
Can I insight check Luca? Is he getting genuinely like wonky?
Confused.
Yeah. Like, is this a memory lapse or?
Oh no, he remembers the conversation, but he doesn't remember what N said just now because the thought of the conversation kind of just knocked what they said out of his head, like bringing it
so
up.
he's having brain moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like a hesitate. You know, how Willow hesitates because they are thinking about it. Luca's hesitating because his brain's stuttering.
Because he's
again.
not thinking about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's buffering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The spar. I said some upsetting things to you.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I look at Willow and then back at N.
I understand how it might have been upsetting. Do you understand why he did it? I did it? I'm gonna take that as a no.
No.
Well, you were worried that he might have been some outside force taking over my body, yes?
Kind of, yes.
Right, and that is a because we're the same person. That is a fear that we share because we are the same person. And what he was testing you. I was and rubs their face. If that were to actually happen, and gestures to their eye, I would feel more secure if I knew there was someone who could stop me from being, marionetted off to do something terrible. We wanted to see what you might do in that, if that were to happen. Does that make sense?
And Luca did the right thing, yes?
Yes, Luca. You caught me. You caught him. Us.
But-
Without hurting us.
But I cut your arm.
You cut the sleeve.
But what? I can't touch you. Give him like a frustrated little pinch in my eyebrows, like I'm struggling a bit.
Luca, I think what N is trying to say is that you did well. You made them feel safe. You bring a sense of security. You passed. Not like it's a test, but if it was, sorry.
It
you just used that
was
word
a
precisely.
test.
It was a test.
Yeah.
So, Luca, you passed the test. So that's a good thing. That's what N is trying to say. And Kai.
And nods.
We'll just stick with N for now so that you don't get muddled. I think, yeah.
I will
Does that
look at
make
N to
sense?
see if they agree with what Willow's saying.
Yeah, and nodding.
Right. Okay, that's good, I suppose. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Mm.
It's not good if it was this upsetting to you. I can tell I touched a nerve.
Well, it's not your fault. I didn't know I had a nerve to touch, so it's fine.
I don't know if I'd say it's fine, but I appreciate your understanding, and I understand if it's going to be hard to deal with the fallout of that, and me, and everything. You don't have to say anything right now. It's a lot. I get it. Thank you for coming down to the beach anyway.
Wait, Luca's trying to say something.
Oh no, meta text.
Okay.
I think that Luca, because he's disconnected the two people so much, he doesn't associate that conversation with N at all.
Oh. Oop.
So he's tiny bit unsure why N's the one bringing it up. But
Oh boy. Okay.
That's
Damn.
fair.
Luca is visibly struggling.
yeah.
How about we come
What?
back to this?
Yeah, let's just leave you with that. Think about it. I'm here, and kind of smiles a bit at that. So you can can talk to me about
Or
it.
if we're just trying to look at Luca, or if it's useful, talk to Kai?
I mean, I
Question
can
mark?
turn into him at will. It's not always a event.
Well, you did it at Regalport.
Yes,
I remember
exactly.
that.
Do you need that, Luca?
Now?
I'm just throwing out suggestions.
I don't know.
Okay.
Just think about it.
Okay.
It's there.
Yeah, I think we'll just think of it. It's all very fresh. Everything's quite fresh at the moment.
Yeah. And looks at Willow now.
Oh, great. After that beautifully not tense conversation, Willow's all too
Well-
happy to be addressed at the moment.
If I can
Yeah.
just apologize to you, Anne, for getting so upset.
To me, it's okay, Luca. I get it. I mean, really, you, it's a sign you care about me. And says through gritted teeth, and just the most
But
confused
Willow-
look on their face.
Man, Willow. Okay, so I imagine you two are like facing each other. Willow is like sunk back in their chair with their chin back, just listening to you two talk. Like they're gonna have a nap while you guys work your way around this whatever's happening here, because it's like both tense and slow. Like they are tense enough that it's feeling like awkward for them. They want to pace, you know. So they're just going to flop their head back now and just like listen to you guys.
It's less tense so much as it is like
Secondhand embarrassment.
yeah, secondhand
just-
embarrassment,
yeah.
and also
Awkward.
very just very slow. Just like
Yeah.
trying not to make more misunderstandings, so everything feels like it's being said in slow motion.
Yeah, and Willow's got like zero. Willow's like cut to the chase, cut to the chase, cut to the chase, but like it keeps skirting around the point. It's like a loopy track where you guys are just missing the finish line every single time. But anyway, it's okay. Willow's just going to sit here and look at the ceiling until words come out.
But I
They've been
appreciate
said.
the thought.
Yeah. No, I do care about you. And like, I had a dream about you, and I was
What?
protecting you. And stuff, but that's
Okay.
not what.
Willow's head snaps back up to look at Luca.
And looks at Willow. Like, what do I do with this information?
Just keeps looking back at Willow like, help me, help me.
Willow's trying, baby, but you guys are hard.
But,
Okay, Willow like, looks at Luca when he says that, and then like puts their head back, like, okay. Weird thing to admit at the dinner table, but sure.
What happened on the beach was half the fact that I care about you, and half something else. So
Can I ask what the something else was?
holding the cards very tight in both hands now.
You don't have to.
Well,
Luca wants to give you an answer, but he can't.
I
is
think,
sort of the impression you're getting.
Yeah. I think I might have remembered something that I don't remember. So.
Ah.
And the two things kind of overlapped in my head. Yeah. That, not to say I don't care about you, I don't want you not knowing the truth.
No, I appreciate that, Luca. And yeah, that makes sense. Rain is a bit of a scrambled egg, so a bit of the yolk is gonna get into a bit of the white, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
From one scrambled egg to the
laugh.
other.
Mhm.
Oh man, Willow did a little laugh, but like did the throat clear. I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, it's okay. My brain is scrambled. That's fine. That's a fact. So.
Well, if I may interject this conversation.
Mhm.
Ultimately, I think, in a roundabout way, Willow's head flops back up. Our little experiment sort of reaped some results for you.
It's
And I don't mean that to sound flippant, sorry. I just mean to say that you ended up finding something that does frighten you.
yeah, I
So-
Who are you
suppose.
talking to?
Luca!
Oh, me?
Yes.
Point at myself.
Yes!
Oh.
Willow would be looking directly at Luca.
Yeah, Luca's confused. He thought he was talking to Anne.
No, Luca. Willow's looking at you. Anyway, so Willow's looking at Luca and saying, "You found answers. You should write about it, talk about it, see if you can find at your pace. See if you can find any answers about memories unremembered." Yes.
Well, it wasn't scared. It was frustrated, and because I think I was frustrated at Kai, so the two kind of mixed together, like the yolk and the white when you scramble it up.
Yeah. Well, Willow's given the Willow seems to doubt that there isn't any fear involved. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Oh, it's not a pleasant
Well-
step, but it's something.
It's something. It's something. And I made bread, so.
So you're basically all better.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Willow realized that came out a little bit bitchy.
Luca didn't even notice.
God, he's so.
Saved by the bell, which is the empty space of Luca's head.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, I'm glad you feel like you can rely on me.
And nods.
I want to give like a genuine smile, because that does make me feel nice.
And smirks back a bit.
And does the little cool guy smirk and look away of like,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Mm.
Whereas
I'm
Luca's got
smiling,
his,
but don't look at me.
Luca's got his big happy smile. Not as big as it could be, but
It's a
It's big
sincere
and-
smile.
yeah.
It's genuine. That's good.
Yeah. And if you ever want to look at some scrambled eggs and see if you can pick apart the colors, I don't know why you would want to. Sorry. I just thought you guys, the two of you seem to like experimenting.
No,
So
no, continue on. What was the end of your thought? What is it?
you can look at my scrambled eggs.
If there's anything we can do to help you with your memory problems, Luca, I'm sure we will. I will try. And I'll try to make it
Yeah.
less aggressive this time.
Well, maybe that's. Yeah.
For the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yes.
Speaking of aggression,
Mm.
Willow, you don't have to say anything, but I'm sorry I walked out on you, and I'm sorry I disappeared, and I'm sorry I overreacted, and thank you for sticking around. And it's going to put their hands down flat on the table.
It's all okay.
What did. Sorry.
No. Free to ask.
What happened with the two of you?
Oh yeah, you were
I was elsewhere
Engaged.
mentally.
Yes.
I seem to be doing that a lot lately. And drags their hand down their face and looks at Willow like, should I be talking about this? Or do you?
Willow's got that face of, I had to deal with Seeker Elsa this morning asking about the same thing. So you know what? They don't have an answer.
Well, Willow is welcome to interject if I'm misrepresenting the exchange. But the experiment on the beach, I was under the impression that perhaps Willow was studying my eye to assist in the research of their own eyes. And
You can just see a big light bulb moment on Luca's face.
Willow's going to interject at that light bulb moment, and it was incorrect.
it was
An
incorrect.
incorrect assumption.
That's where the problem lies. I was mistaken. And so my motivations were not entirely for my own eye, but also the misguided attempt to help Willow with their eyes, and they don't need my help. So I will not be doing that again.
I'll look at Willow and see if they're going to add anything.
Good.
And
Willow
nods.
remains impassive. The voice of God would ask, Luca, please ask the obvious. Please.
What's the obvious question?
The obvious question is, what happened to Willow's eyes?
Yeah. Actually, my question is, wouldn't that not work because you have different eyes anyway?
Well, I'm
Well,
assuming that N considered that eye injury, trauma, whatever's happening is all part of the same branch of thought.
I mean, sometimes to figure out one thing, you research another area of it. Magical
I
eyes.
understand your train of thought.
Does Willow have something inside of them? I look very worried all of a sudden.
No, Luca, you won't have to manhandle me. I'm fine.
Are you fine?
Do you want to insight check that?
Well, I asked that out loud. Let's see what they say.
Well, Willow already said, I'm fine, so you can
You
do
can
a
insight check
layer of
their
that.
reaction, I guess.
I also would
Yeah.
like to
What is their
insight check
reaction?
that.
Yes.
Oh, come on.
Deception check, Willow.
Do I even bothered? Willow's tired. Deception check.
Yeah, good. Willow has convinced themselves that they are fine.
They are not.
It's less of a, I am actually fine, and more of a, please don't ask me that question, I'm fine.
Well, do you need to research your own eyes?
Nope.
So you know
Yes,
what your deal is?
absolutely. All the time. I know everything.
No, you don't.
I know most things. I don't know what's
What's
wrong
my
with
name?
you, but we're going to find
Damn
out
it.
eventually.
Can I ask what your eyes are? You don't have to.
Willow
I'm
didn't
sorry.
say that out loud, but they do like tip their head back like they are so tired. Like this has been such a shit week. And they have just been dying in the background, and now we're having this conversation just as a shitty little cherry on top of an awful night and an awful week. But I think it's that exact feeling of like, I am so tired over this. Willow's like, it's an injury. And I recall the nature of the injury, so I have nothing to research about my eye. Eyes.
You can see that Luca wants to ask more questions, but
And
he's
is
stopping himself.
and is looking away.
Can I insight check that anyway, just to...
They're being honest about it.
Okay.
There's nothing hidden other than the obvious, like, lack of detail.
Yes.
I know you don't want to hear it, but sorry that happened, Willow.
I nod.
It's fine. It's old news. And since I already know the ins and outs of my own issues, I suppose that can reassure you that I'm not using you for yours.
And
But I feel like I've repeated that a number
Yeah.
of times, and I don't want to badger you with the thought.
I get it.
I can repeat it if you need it to be
and
repeated.
and
but-
looking not at Willow and looking like down and kind of at nothing. No,
I understand the thought.
you don't. I think I've gotten the message loud and clear.
No, I don't think you have, actually. And I think that you and Kai are both continuing to indicate to me that you're imparting something else on my words, and it doesn't really matter what I say, because it always lands somewhere else. It's massaging their head, they got a headache.
I know you're
And I
not
understand.
using me.
No, it's not it's all of it. No one. Anyway, it's just,
Can I inside check that little no one?
God.
Can I?
If you must.
Go ahead. What does Luca see?
Willow is.
Since since that is as high as you could
Yeah.
possibly roll.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Willow's got a
Luca
headache.
has a sparkling moment of
Yeah.
emotional insight.
Oh, good on you, champ.
I'm learning.
Willow seems tired of being misunderstood. And having their words misinterpreted. And people not getting it. Whatever they're doing at any time. Their actions or their words. Willow's frustrated. Not just with
Well-
N and not just with Luca, but with like everyone. And feel free to recall the start of the episode.
Well, I wouldn't be asking you to keep doing research with me if I thought you were just using me, trust me.
Yeah, I know, and I understand as well why everyone here is. You two have been through a lot. It's natural, and so rather than you back and forth apologizing for everything you've ever thought or done wrong, maybe you could just accept that you messed up a little, and that's okay. Yes, otherwise none of us would be sitting here.
Is Willow talking about themselves right now?
Willow's talking to both of you.
Can my 19 roll
Yeah.
continue? Are they
Yeah,
maybe talking about themselves a little bit?
No, I don't think so. I think that's more like Willow wants to make it clear that, like, they are okay, as in they don't hold the misinterpretation against you, even if they are frustrated.
Yeah.
They want to be
also-
clear. They want to be
Yeah.
understood.
Yeah, and both of you two as well. Like, that conversation that they had to sit through, they are like, you two are both like tiptoeing around the obvious fact, which is that you both messed up. And that's cool, you know? Like, you'll find your way. Like, Willow's just like frustrated with the tone and everything happening here.
Well,
No?
Luca's not so much tiptoeing as his brain is
No,
broken.
I know. That's what I mean. But then, like, there is the whole, like, I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to hurt your feelings. Oh, I'll just leave if you don't want to be. Like, you guys have been skirting the whole, like, guilt thing for ages, and Willow's just been, like, quietly absorbing it, you know? Recall, oh, I didn't mean to be caught by the spider in the woods. I'm so guilty. You would have been hurt because of me. And then Luca being like,
You were
oh,
hurt
I didn't
because of
protect
me.
you in time. Yes. Sorry, I didn't get the exact phrasing, but it's all of that pent up that Willow is just like, just stop apologizing for those things.
Yeah,
Just
you're right.
no. I am. I'm not trying to be dismissive. You two both have a lot of very Sorry, I've sort of. Anyway, I didn't. I don't mean to. I'm not trying to lecture anybody. I'm just. It's. You aren't bad people. You act like you are.
I'm going to decline to comment the obvious.
Good. Willow would shoot you down anyway. And looking at both of you, what is the reaction to that?
And just kind of stops. Settles and looks at you.
I think there was a brief glimpse of N being like kind of shocked to hear it so bluntly spoken.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're a warmonger. I don't think that you're a bloodthirsty soldier. And I don't think that you're a monster or anything that you continue to keep suggesting. I can tell what you're both suggesting. It's wrong. You're both wrong. All the time.
And starts laughing.
What? What?
Willow Jenkins. And you can see En's
What?
tearing up a bit.
Uh,
They wipe it away with their knuckles. You are who I thought you were. And says with a smile across the table at you.
oh. Yeah, Willow goes quiet and sits back and looks forward. They are not talking anymore. Then finished ranting.
That's why I had to talk myself in so many circles to explain why you were using me, because I was wrong. I was wrong. And buries their face in their hands. Just kind of laugh, cries a bit. And eventually pulls their face out of their hands and, like, shakes it off.
Slide tissues to them.
I'm good. Feathers, remember?
They're not really there.
And gives you a little finger gun, like, memory.
I don't get it.
You remembered something. One step at a time, one step at a time. Thanks, Willow. Thanks for yelling at me, I guess.
No nods, I guess.
That's something that friends do, right?
Hey, so... how long would it take you to modify that wand?
I can't believe N is just picking up the conversation like a normal person right now. Willow's just like, Hey God, how long would it take?
Make an Arcana check.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
With,
Anything to escape this situation mentally.
Yeah.
Oh, thank
Yeah.
God.
yeah. So with Fishdog's help and the right equipment, you could probably do a pretty simple modification without damaging it in like maybe a day or two.
So after a long silence of just kind of like staring at nothing, looks at N, sort of. The fact that N's eyes are probably still glassy is like Willow looks away. 2 days.
Willow
1
looks
day,
at
maybe.
N's shoulder.
Yeah. Looks back at their bowl or at the pie or something, anything else.
Well, if you're not too occupied with work, I wouldn't mind. I can even pay you.
apparently.
Yeah, how much money do you have?
Enough.
Ah,
Hmm.
I might have to start charging you rent.
Well,
Do you pay rent?
do you want me to keep going to Rigoport?
Oh, I can see the guy.
We're the same person,
See?
Luca.
Mm. Maybe I don't trust either of you now.
Mm. That's fair. Well, I'll go get it. I'll leave it with you. And we'll push out of their chair and start leaving the room for their room.
And goes off to grab the wand.
Yeah, Willow like exhales like they have been holding their breath for a bit. Slumps.
You alright?
There's a-
Yes. You?
Yes.
Good.
And En's gonna come back.
Good.
With the
So,
wand in tow and
Yeah.
give that to Willow. Yeah, I don't know if En will bring that up now, considering the vibes.
Bring what up, En?
What up?
Did they look like they were thinking of saying something and then stop?
I will say, if the camera follows En into their room, they will pause and look at their book as if they're thinking about something. And then go and fetch the wand and come back.
Mhm. It can wait.
Yeah, maybe it can.
You're not in a rush.
No.
You-
They'll be here a
You
while.
just cried. Yeah. You just cried at the dinner. You're good.
Little bit.
Set.
So,
Yeah, well, they're just gonna busy themselves with the wand. What?
do we want to skip forward in time a bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How far do we want to flash forward?
What are you thinking, Mim?
Hmm. I think Willow might visit Bruno.
Okay.
Not at his home. Not at his home.
No.
Probably just catch him on the way back from work.
Yeah, you catch Bruno at the Nesting Quail. You know he's usually here for dinner on this day of the week.
I don't know if Willow would have stayed for dinner with you guys either. They would have
Yeah.
just been like, I'm gonna go look
You
at
had
the wand
you
Yeah.
had tea. You had a good
pie.
chat. Yeah. It's all good.
Yeah.
You leave the
everything's-
nodding poppy feeling a little bit lighter.
Yeah, light and confused. Like light and very perplexed. It's a mixed up kind of feeling.
But it feels like something got resolved. So you know what?
Yeah, it's better than not
It's
being
a
Look,
huge difference from like the weird tension that's been lingering. It feels like the pressure has just like dropped away.
yeah, no,
Like
it's,
your ears just popped.
yeah, it's yes. Willow's got that same kind of. They just look confused. They don't usually look confused walking around, but they are like,
Hey, you and me
Okay.
both, buddy.
yeah, sure. You know what? Yeah, finally we're all on Luca's level of just like wanders around, unsure of what's happening.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, it's okay. And we love you for it. Not Willow, but you know what I mean. That was me.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Willow's going to go nonchalantly to the nesting quail and pretend they're not go to the counter and like order something and like
Mhm.
pretend they haven't spotted Bruno. What's his vibe?
Comfortable. Enjoying a pint on the weekend. Sunday tomorrow, so we're like the equivalent of Sunday. I have not bothered to memorize the fantasy names of the days of the week because
It's fine. It's fine. You're too busy being
Yeah.
Doing everything else.
look, if we had an actual budget, then I would like get deep
Donate to
into the
our DM.
conlang and
Donate to our
everything.
DM.
But no, basically it's like tomorrow's his day off, so like he's
Yeah.
having a relaxed pint of
Yeah.
cider or whatever and just chill. Notices you come in, but doesn't give you like much of a more than like a nod of acknowledgement. If you walk into his line of sight, it's like a friendly hey.
Yeah, Willow walks past as if they're not going to stop and talk to him at all.
Mm-hmm.
But they buy 2 drinks and sit next to him and give him one. Hi.
Hello. Bruno accepts the drink. What's on your mind?
Nothing.
Bruno
Instant
sips the
reaction.
drink. Feeling better?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. Willow's brain is like, why did you choose to sit down? The long
Bruno
drinks of stalling that they
Yeah.
did with Elsa, they're doing again with their drink and
Yeah.
Bruno.
At least here it feels more relaxed because like Bruno
Yeah.
is eating. There's like chatter in the nesting quail. It's like a nice relaxed evening. There's some laughter as like the next table over like has a joke or something. It's comfy.
It's
Cozy
better.
atmosphere.
It's settling that that like floaty
Yeah.
feeling that was like stuck with Willow for a bit.
Yeah.
How was work?
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. Bruno like chatters a bit about this and that, like what all is going on. So there's like a bit of conversation before you
Yeah.
are able to ask whatever you want to ask.
Yeah. Funny. It's funny because the wants to ask just disappear.
But Bruno is in good spirits and comfortable and like
Yeah.
at the
He's
same
calming
time
Willow
it's not
down.
like at the same time it's not like he like desperately needs you to be back on your game immediately. He's
Yeah,
like, I assume you're still taking those days off because I've penciled you off.
Yeah, no, I still am. We're going
Good.
to. Okay. Yeah. That captain has a hearing in Regalport soon.
The one you saved from the curse of a hag, so I've heard.
Who said that?
The other two that you let me hire.
Yeah. Yeah. Him. He's due for some legal proceedings, I guess. So.
Apparently they used to run with the sea dragons, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's bound to be fun.
We'll see if Raga remembers them or
Yeah,
if they're talking up stories.
that'd be embarrassing. If Raga doesn't remember him, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, or if they're talking up stories, you mean that if he was like lying? Huh, that's funny. That never crossed my mind.
Bruno
Anyway,
shrugs and finishes his
Yeah.
drink.
I just want to say sorry.
Hmm?
Yeah, for the other, yeah, the other day. Sorry for causing a scene.
Water under the bridge.
Yeah. And, thanks for not firing me.
Well, you're welcome.
Yep, well, it chugs back the rest of their drink. I'm gonna go home. I have a thing.
Mhm.
You have a nice weekend.
You too.
Okay, well, zoom out of there.
Did Willow get to ask what they asked, or what they wanted to ask, or
no,
just
they're
like
No,
avoided
if-
again.
I can
But
tell.
they also wanted, they also wanted to. They're also going through something.
maybe next time?
Maybe next time. They got to say something they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I think now we will flash forward. Full day ahead. You
Barrow?
all set out for the barrow and are able to get that underway. Seeker also dons her armor after digging it out of the closet. An old chain shirt, a shield, a mace.
Wow.
Mace? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Mace?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's just a
Oh.
club with a spiky end.
No, I know what it is. I'm saying in Secret Elsa.
Secret Elsa with the mace.
Yeah. She stows it on her belt. She looks a little uncomfortable wearing
Aw.
these things, but is ready to do the work. She has her supplies with her to cast the spell that will protect the barrow. Is double checking with her substitute, another worker at the docks who knows some first aid and stuff, and just making sure everything's in order. You have a donkey and a wagon
Oh.
to carry you through the forest.
Look at drives, because he is
Yeah.
excellent.
Yes.
Donkey
And-
Wrangler.
I imagine Secret Elsa's like sitting facing the other two, and the other two are like stuck on a chair, like with their hands like neat, just facing Secret Elsa, feeling like they're in class.
Yeah. And that's where we will pick up
Oh,
next week, I believe.
Oh,
oh,
we didn't even get to the barrow.
No, but we'll start there next week.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's good. It's good.
Feels like you're setting off on a road trip, basically.
Yep.
It's that.
Yeah.
Has everybody gone to the bathroom? Do we have packed lunch? Yes. Do we have all your equipment? Yes. And Tika
Now we're
Elsa
on our
eventually
way.
says to Luca, "All right, I think we're ready to get going then. Lead the way."
I think we should end on that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where we end.